the men who were not just soldiers. They were the Waffen SS, an elite force with a training regimen that pushed the boundaries of human endurance and loyalty, also known for their sheer brutality and unwavering oath to the Third Reich. Welcome to Elite Secrets, the training of the Waffen SS.
The Waffen SS emerged as a formidable and highly efficient fighting force, earning the reputation as the pinnacle of the Nazi war machine. Rigorously trained and deeply indoctrinated, they stood as the vanguard of the Third Reich, embodying a new social and military elite. Operating as elite shock units across various fronts, they garnered admiration and reluctant respect from both allies and adversaries alike. Hitler's favored warriors, they bore the brunt of assaults into Russia, acting as the sharp tip of the spear, while Germany faced threats from all directions. In their unwavering commitment, they fought tenaciously until the bitter end, buying crucial time for their Wehrmacht counterparts to strategically retreat. Against insurmountable odds set by Hitler, they fought with unparalleled determination, leaving an indelible mark on the tumultuous pages of history and to this day. To delve into the essence of the training and recruitment, first, we must unravel the intricacies of its training and the individuals who compose its ranks. The genesis of the Waffen SS can be traced back to the vision of Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS and Gestapo. Driven by a desire to forge a new Aryan elite within the Third Reich, Himmler was resolute in his conviction that these military units must stand as the epitome of excellence within Nazi Germany. In his pursuit of a fresh elite, Himmler recognized the imperative for a departure from the traditional German elite. This realization birthed a rigorous and deeply indoctrinative training regimen, a crucible designed to mold ordinary soldiers into zealous warriors. The goal was not merely physical prowess, but a transformation of the spirit, an infusion of unyielding courage and unwavering loyalty. This calculated approach not only upheld the standards of elite, but also embodied a break from the conventions of the old German elite. The meticulous selection process for joining the SS reflected the disturbing ideals of the time. The age limit of 23 and the height requirement of 1.74 meters aimed at creating a physically imposing and youthful force. The emphasis on Nordic or Germanic blood highlighted the obsession with a perceived Aryan racial superiority. The exclusion of those deemed to have mutation or malformation further showcased the extreme and discriminatory nature of the criteria. This prejudiced approach was not only morally reprehensible but also scientifically baseless, reflecting the ideologies that fueled the SS. Once individuals met these stringent prerequisites, they faced a battery of physical and mental tests. These assessments sought to identify not just physical prowess, but also ideological commitment and emotional resilience. The indoctrination process was thorough, shaping recruits into loyal members of the Waffen SS. In the early years of the Waffen SS, Heinrich Himmler faced resource constraints, leading to a collaboration with the Wehrmacht for basic military training between 1933 and 1936. This partnership, however, primarily influenced the tactical acumen of SS officers as the line infantry of the Waffen SS underwent a distinctive form of training. Inspired by elite units like the British Commandos and United States Army Rangers, the Waffen SS Line Infantry specialized in assault tactics. This specialization set them apart from conventional military training methods employed by the Wehrmacht. While the officers received strategic insights from the Wehrmacht, the infantry honed their skills as dynamic and aggressive assault troops. The turning point came in 1938 when Adolf Hitler granted permission for the Waffen SS assault troops to engage in large-scale military training operations involving live ammunition and artillery barrages. This marked a departure from Hitler's usual cautious approach, especially with the Wehrmacht, and showcased a unique level of trust in Himmler's forces. The opportunity for the Waffen SS to conduct realistic and intense training operations provided invaluable experience with their weapons and equipment in actual field conditions. This decision by Hitler underscored the confidence he had in the combat effectiveness of the Waffen SS, allowing them to push boundaries and develop their capabilities through more daring and realistic training scenarios, setting them apart from the conventional and safe practices of the Wehrmacht. To make up for the initial deficiency in tactical and strategic training, Heinrich Himmler adopted a distinctive approach for the Waffen SS, prioritizing physical fitness and ideological indoctrination. Recognizing the importance of having soldiers in peak physical condition, Himmler placed a strong emphasis on rigorous physical training. Under Himmler's leadership, various sports, including boxing, running track and field, rowing, and more, were seamlessly integrated into the daily routine of the Waffen SS. This not only aimed at creating a physically robust and healthy force, but also served as a means to foster camaraderie within the ranks. The shared experience of intense physical activities contributed to building a sense of unity and brotherhood among the members of the Waffen SS. The commitment to physical fitness was not merely a practical consideration, but also a tool for ideological reinforcement. Through this regimen, Himmler sought to mold not just skilled soldiers, but individuals deeply ingrained with the Nazi ideology. The combination of physical prowess and unwavering ideological indoctrination was intended to create a formidable and fanatical fighting force loyal to the twisted ideals of the SS. In this way, Himmler's focus on physical training played a dual role, shaping the Waffen SS into both physically capable warriors and fervent believers in the ideology they were enlisted to serve. The insights from a Waffen SS training manual, as cited by Bernd Wegner, shed light on Heinrich Himmler's nuanced approach to preparing his troops. Himmler recognized the multifaceted benefits of sports in shaping the ideal SS soldier. The manual states that sport not only stirs belligerence, toughens the will, and fosters self-discipline, but also elevates the SS man to the level of a combat-effective fighter. Beyond the physical aspects, sports instill a sense of subordination, strengthen cohesion, and build esprit de corps among the troops. Importantly, it was acknowledged that sports could also serve as a form of relaxation and pleasure for the SS men, providing a necessary release from the intense indoctrination they underwent. This approach aligns with the understanding that balance is crucial in training, akin to how individuals today turn to activities like going to the gym or playing sports for stress relief. Himmler's recognition of the psychological well-being of his men, coupled with their physical conditioning, aimed to create a resilient and versatile force. Waffen SS officer Steiner, a prominent figure within the organization, echoed this sentiment by describing his troops as a disciplined sport type, with supple physical stature and a focused mindset on performance. This characterization underscores the pride taken in the physical capabilities of the Waffen SS, allowing them to execute highly mobile shock assault actions while maintaining peak combat effectiveness. The emphasis on both physical and mental aspects in training reflected a comprehensive strategy to forge a formidable and well-rounded fighting force. Heinrich Himmler recognized that ideological conditioning was as crucial as physical training in shaping the Waffen SS into a loyal and fanatical force. The Waffen SS underwent a form of ideological fitness training, with educational officers playing a role akin to the Red Army's political commissars. Their task was to manipulate traditional ideals, distorting them to align with the agenda of Hitler, Himmler, and the SS. Old concepts such as loyalty, courage, and self-sacrifice were redefined to serve the SS's twisted ideology. Loyalty, for instance, shifted exclusively towards Adolf Hitler, transcending any official position he held. This devotion was encapsulated in the SS Oath of Allegiance, where a breach of loyalty to Hitler was deemed the only unforgivable crime for an SS man. The overarching theme of SS indoctrination was encapsulated in the concept of blood and soil, intertwining loyalty, courage, and self-sacrifice. This ideology demanded loyalty to Hitler, Himmler, and the SS, courage in fighting the enemies of the Nazis, and self-sacrifice for the Aryan people and fellow SS members. Bernd Wegener emphasized the SS's unique emphasis on loyalty, emphasizing that it was directed exclusively towards Adolf Hitler as a person, surpassing any institutional or governmental role he occupied. This personification of loyalty underscored the SS's unwavering commitment to Hitler, reflecting the extreme nature of the indoctrination process within the organization. The oath sworn by the Waffen SS to Adolf Hitler stands as their unwavering allegiance and fervent commitment to fulfill his orders. In this solemn declaration, they express, "I vow to you, Adolf Hitler, as Führer and Chancellor of the German Reich, loyalty and bravery. I vow to you and the leaders you set before me, absolute allegiance unto death. So God help me." This oath encapsulates the depth of the SS's dedication, extending even beyond life itself. Reinforcing this profound loyalty is their motto, "Our honor is loyalty." This succinct phrase serves as a powerful reminder of the unswerving commitment not only to Hitler, but also to Heinrich Himmler and the collective entity of the SS. The emphasis on honor underscores the elevated importance placed on loyalty within the SS, forming a core tenet of their identity and mission. Heinrich Himmler embarked on a mission to craft a professional political soldier from 1934 onward, envisioning a force completely devoted to Adolf Hitler and indirectly to himself as he aspired to become Hitler's right hand. The ideological indoctrination of the Waffen SS was a pivotal component in maintaining unity and allegiance within the ranks, differentiating them from the regular German soldiers of the Wehrmacht. Without this indoctrination, the SS troops risked becoming ideologically indistinguishable from their counterparts in the conventional military. The core of SS indoctrination revolved around the belief that they were the protectors of Germany against the perceived threats of Bolshevism and inferior humans. This narrative fueled the notion that the impending conflict against the Poles and Russians was not just a military engagement, but an ideological crusade. The SS soldiers were conditioned to see themselves as defenders of their people and purveyors of a righteous cause, casting the enemy as evil. This ideological fervor manifested in the brutal and ferocious battles on the Eastern Front during World War II. The clashes between voluntary German SS troopers and perceived fanatic communists reached a pinnacle of enmity and hatred. The intensity of these conflicts saw the abandonment of chivalry and moderation, plunging the battlefield into a depth of horror and brutality that is difficult for most to comprehend. Even reading about these battles with an attempt at imaginative understanding is enough to shake anyone to the core, highlighting the extreme nature of the ideological crusade that defined the Waffen SS's role in the Eastern Front. The Waffen SS played a pivotal role in every major military campaign undertaken by the German Reich. Their significant contributions were particularly evident in the vast expanses of Russia and during the defense of the Western Front against the Allied invasion. As the conflict escalated, the Waffen SS evolved to have its own Panzer and Panzer Grenadier divisions, becoming a formidable force on the battlefield. During Operation Barbarossa and various other military campaigns, Waffen SS divisions were often at the forefront, serving as the tip of the spear. Their elite training and mobile nature made them a force to be reckoned with, feared, and, in many cases, hated by their adversaries. The Waffen SS divisions were not only instrumental in advancing the German offensive, but also displayed remarkable resilience by being among the last to retreat in the face of counteroffensives, and many crimes were committed in the name of the SS. Commanding officers consistently called upon the Waffen SS for assistance, especially in situations where fronts were deadlocked or under the pressure of a counteroffensive. Their reputation for being a highly skilled and mobile force made them a valuable asset on the battlefield. The Waffen SS's most notable feats occurred during the defense of Germany, particularly after the Allies had retaken France, Italy had capitulated, and the Russians had advanced through Poland. In these dire circumstances, the Waffen SS demonstrated their courage and determination, earning a complex legacy that combined their military prowess with the dark ideology that fueled their actions. The Waffen SS was equipped to fulfill its role as an elite shock assault unit, distinguishing itself as a fully motorized force. Armed with standard weaponry like the Karabiner 98K, half-tracks, machine guns, and MP40s, the Waffen SS stood out from the majority of the Wehrmacht, which primarily relied on foot soldiers or horse transportation. They underwent strict training for these weapons. Some sources say they went through more weaponry training than the normal here, since the SS had to succeed on the battlefield no matter what. What set the Waffen SS apart was its exclusive access to heavy artillery confiscated from the Czechs. This unique advantage, combined with priority rearmament and reinforcement from selected factories in eastern Germany and later in Poland, elevated the Waffen SS to a formidable fighting force. As the conflict progressed, the Waffen SS underwent further transformations. Several divisions were reorganized into elite panzer divisions, utilizing cutting-edge technology and becoming a vital component of German armored forces. Among these divisions, the Panzer Grenadiers, considered shock troops, and an elite within the Waffen SS, played a crucial role in intense and mobile assaults. The Waffen SS enjoyed the privilege of testing prototype weapons, showcasing their status as an innovative and advanced military unit. Furthermore, they held a distinct position as top priority divisions for reinforcement and resupply, underscoring their strategic importance in the German war effort. This combination of mobility, firepower, and access to cutting-edge equipment solidified the Waffen SS's reputation as an elite force within the broader context of World War II. During Operation Barbarossa, the Waffen SS played a crucial role in the early successes of the Eastern Front. Notably, divisions such as Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler, Reich, Totenkopf, and Wiking demonstrated remarkable progress, achieving success after success as they advanced. However, not all SS divisions experienced triumph, as the newer division Nord faced a significant defeat in Finland. Despite the setback, this defeat was kept secret from the German public, highlighting the selective presentation of information during that time. Hermann Stein, reflecting on Operation Barbarossa, acknowledged that the Waffen SS sustained a higher proportion of casualties compared to the Wehrmacht. This sacrifice was, in part, a contributing factor to the decisive advances of the German forces all the way to Moscow. The Waffen SS's willingness to bear a greater share of casualties demonstrated their commitment to being the driving force in the German offensive, pushing forward despite the heavy toll. The Waffen SS, often referred to as the tip of the spear, distinguished itself as the motorized and panzer divisions at the forefront of the advance. They engaged in combat ahead of most of the army, showcasing their mobility and effectiveness in swift and aggressive offensives. Even during the first major Russian counter-offensive, when panic spread among many Wehrmacht divisions and army groups, the Waffen SS stood firm. They held off the advancing Russians for as long as possible, demonstrating resilience and determination in the face of adversity. The Waffen SS's role as the vanguard in Operation Barbarossa marked a significant chapter in their military history. The brutality of the fighting in the East during World War II was exacerbated by the intense fanaticism on both sides, particularly among certain units of the Waffen SS and Soviet forces, often led by political commissars. However, the Waffen SS stood out for carrying out specific orders that transformed the Eastern Front into not just a war for territory, but a war fueled by genocide and ideology. One grim directive issued to the Waffen SS was the execution of all Soviet commissars. This directive, aligned with their indoctrination materials and Heinrich Himmler's own beliefs, exemplified the extremist nature of their mission. The overarching goal was to make room for new German settlements by exterminating the current residents and re-Germanizing the lost Germans in the East. This genocidal and ideological approach not only intensified the brutality of the conflict, but also played a significant role in the fierce guerrilla warfare that unfolded on the Eastern Front. The Waffen SS's adherence to these directives resulted in devastating consequences, both in terms of the human toll and the lasting impact on the Eastern European landscape. The Eastern Front became a battleground, not only for military objectives, but also for the implementation of heinous ideologies and practices. The high losses endured by the Waffen SS in this theater of war were a direct consequence of the extreme nature of their mission, contributing to the overall brutality and horror of the Eastern Front during World War II. Throughout the war in the East, the Waffen SS distinguished themselves by displaying resilience and determination, fighting longer and harder than many units in the Wehrmacht. Their efforts played a crucial role in halting the Russian counteroffensive by the summer of 1942. The Waffen SS took the lead, and the SS effectively blunted the Russian offensive until the Allies achieved victory in Italy. Hitler's decision to reassign multiple SS divisions to the southern and later western fronts marked a turning point. The Waffen SS, now essentially functioning as Hitler's fire brigade, were deployed wherever the situation demanded. Steiner captures their role during this period, stating, "Wherever they were committed, they attacked, sometimes with great success, at other times with little or none. But whatever the outcome of the individual action, the end result was to delay the enemy's advance." That, in the final analysis, was the value of the Waffen SS in the last 2 years of the war. The Waffen SS's strategic deployments and tenacious fighting contributed to slowing down enemy advances, even as the tide turned against Nazi Germany in the later stages of World War II. In some of the Russian offensives, SS divisions found themselves cut off and encircled alongside large detachments of the Wehrmacht. Despite the challenging circumstances, the SS divisions were often tasked with leading breakouts, achieving success in many instances. However, these breakout attempts came at a heavy cost, where the divisions suffered a staggering 50% casualties. On the Western Front, the SS faced a different set of challenges. According to Steiner, the SS experienced more defeats than they were accustomed to. The shortage of manpower and the slow replenishment of crucial supplies, weapons, and vehicles left them ill-equipped against the formidable combination of heavy naval fire, unending streams of tanks, full motorized infantry, superior artillery, and above all, crippling attacks from the air. Despite their best efforts, the SS struggled to stem the tide on multiple fronts, lacking the necessary resources and industrial backing for effective resistance. Even in the face of defeat, the SS fought with unwavering determination on almost every front. They persisted until they could no longer continue. As a transmission from SS Division Deutschland to Das Reich confirmed, the Regiment Deutschland, now completely cut off, without supplies, with losses of 70% in personnel and equipment, at the end of its strength, must capitulate. Tomorrow, the regiment will march into captivity with all heads held high. The regiment, which had the honor of bearing the name Deutschland, is now signing off. This poignant message encapsulates the SS's commitment to fighting until the very end, even when faced with overwhelming odds and inevitable defeat. Only about 40% of the Waffen SS was ethnic German, and the composition of the Waffen SS was diverse, with recruits hailing from various countries, including France, Spain, Ukraine, Croatia, Latvia, and more. However, these international legions did not undergo the same rigorous training as the original German divisions, such as Das Reich and Totenkopf. Consequently, the casualty rates for these foreign units were notably high. Recruitment for the Waffen SS commenced in April 1940, leading to the formation of divisions like Nordland and Westland. Despite Adolf Hitler's initial resistance to employing racially inferior individuals, the SS enlisted foreign recruits to address manpower shortages. As Germany expanded into the Soviet Union, individuals from different nations joined the Waffen SS ranks. By 1943, the Waffen SS lost its elite status due to numerical expansion, and some units were assigned to rear guard duties. A naming system distinguished between Germanic and non-Germanic units, using SS for the former and Waffen for the latter. The Viking Division, for instance, included volunteers from Denmark, Norway, Finland, Sweden, and Estonia. Despite shortages, the Waffen SS remained aligned with Nazi ideology. Recruitment efforts in Estonia yielded 5,000 to 10,000 soldiers, while Latvia contributed over 100,000 by 1944. Overall, approximately 500,000 foreigners served in the Waffen SS, including conscripts from Eastern and Southeastern Europe, and even Muslim soldiers from the Balkans. In summary, the Waffen SS were meticulously crafted to form both a social and military elite within the Third Reich. Their physical training sculpted them into some of the healthiest and most physically fit troops in the Reich, while their ideological indoctrination molded them into unyielding and fanatical soldiers, known for their brutal and unwavering commitment to the cause. Armed as elite mobile shock assault troops, the Waffen SS enjoyed high priority in resupply and reinforcement. They fought with ferocity and courage on every front, enduring incredibly high casualties, yet persisting until they could fight no longer. They stood as Hitler's elite forces, representing his last hope in the waning days of the war, and they fought relentlessly until the very end. The legacy of the Waffen SS is one marked by their elite status, intense dedication, and their role as a symbol of Hitler's final stand.
And with that, we conclude our exploration into the intricate and contentious legacy of the Waffen SS during World War II. From their rigorous training to their steadfast ideological convictions, the Waffen SS emerged as a formidable force within the Third Reich, leaving behind a trail of both achievements and atrocities. It's a chapter of history that demands our attention, regardless of where one stands in the historical narrative. These men were undeniably skilled and resolute in battle. These individuals left an indelible mark on the course of history, and in many military corners, to this day. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Remember to check out our Patreon and explore captivating visuals on our Instagram. Stay tuned for more insights, as we continue to unravel the tapestry of our shared history. Until next time, this is History at War, signing off. See you soon.